You know, I thought something like this might happen. That's why I prepared for it.
What are you talking about?
Your own personal mojo, Doc.
Give me that.
Sure, how do you want it? Broken leg?
Ah!
Shouldn't tell your customers where you hide things like this, John.
Welcome back, everyone, to our channel. I'm Nikki.
And I'm John.
And this is Nikki and John.
Today's episode, we're doing Child's Play. 1988, writer Don Mancini and director Tom Holland. Not to be confused with Tom Holland, who plays Spider-Man. Stars Chris Sarandon, Catherine Hicks, Alex Vincent, and Brad Dourif. So it's about a boy who wants this doll for his birthday. He's in love with the show, the doll. It's like, it's the toy everyone wants. The mom can't buy it. She gets it. She finds a version of it to buy. But beginning of the movie, we see this killer, Charles Lee Ray, get shot on his deathbed. Voodoo spells his soul into the doll. And you come to find out a little bit later that the only way he can get out of the doll is to go into the first person that he told the truth to, and that was this little boy, Andy.
Andy!
This is Andy we're talking about.
And so we get to follow this and watch this killer doll just take out people. Adults don't believe him that it's a doll doing it until the mom finally checks it, and the back of it has no batteries, and then he turns his head around and talks to her, and all hell breaks loose. It's a fun movie. It created a really good franchise. I mean, not all the movies were good. I really enjoyed this movie. It's I think one of the first horror movies I ever watched, so it got me into the slasher genre of horror. So to me, it's a little iconic for that. But I know you don't care for it that much, do you, Nikki?
I hate it!
I hated it before. And I only watch it just because, I love movies. I'm like, whatever. Oh, yeah. It was so grueling to sit through that. I'm like, oh my God. And there is a scene in the kitchen where they find footprints in the flour.
What are you implying? I don't know. What would Andy be doing up on the counter, right? Besides, I already checked his closet. None of his shoes match these prints.
It's like, that scene is so funny. I think I stopped, actually paid attention for that second, and laughed my butt off. Like, that was gold. Other than that, I just couldn't. It
didn't like the kill scenes or anything. Like,
it just didn't.
I thought the doll looked amazing when it was finally burnt and it got up and kept on walking, like Chucky when he kept on coming, and you could see the white eyes and he's all charred and burnt and stuff, and he's still going. That was pretty cool.
But see, that's something that you love, and that's fine. I'm going to say stuff about Psycho that you're not going to understand, that I just personally love. But
Possibly.
That's just how it is. Like, you have your favorite lines, characters, scenes, and that's all in the movie magic. It's like,
yeah,
that's why movies are so good. Because that one scene grips you, grabs you, tickles you.
It was clearly inspired by the Cabbage Patch Kids and the Garbage Pail Kids, those dolls. And there was also another one called The Living Doll, which was a Twilight Zone episode that they was kind of inspired by. And I guess there was another doll called My Buddy Dolls.
Yeah.
Like they were for boys. It was a different original idea that the doll would actually, like, it could get cut and bleed and you'd have to put like Band-Aids on it. But instead of putting a Band-Aid on it, Andy cut his finger too and then mixed their bloods together, and that's what created the doll to come alive. That was one idea. I'm kind of glad they didn't go with that. But there was another idea as well, that Andy was actually the real killer.
That premise I liked.
That one would be pretty neat.
Yeah, I would have liked it more if it had that surrounding it.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't make for too many sequels, though.
Sequels are the same damn thing. That's all they are. It's just an extension. It's not. You know.
There was another fun idea that Charles Lee Ray's soul would entered into the doll after being electrocuted on the electric chair. So already being caught, put in prison, and being electrocuted. But I kind of like the route they went with him just having a chase scene with the cop and getting shot and dying. Any one of those ideas don't seem too bad, except for the blood in the doll one. That makes no sense. Why would you buy a doll that bleeds?
It was the only one they had.
People bought the ones that pee and poop, but hey, leave it off the table.
Right?
Um,
I'm gonna buy this so I can clean up after this fucking thing. Like picking it up and putting it away in enough. Like, okay.
John Lithgow was almost Chucky, but he turned it down. He would have been interesting as the Chucky voice.
Yeah, I don't know if he would really, if I could take it seriously with his, because the way he pronounced things is really funny.
Yeah, but the way he was in Dexter, when he was the Trinity killer.
And Raising Cain. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That probably would have been cool.
That would have been okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm glad they went with Brad Dourif, who was the original person they wanted to have, but couldn't get him at some point. So they tried Arrested Development. The mom in that did the voice for Chucky at first, but they found her voice didn't really suit the jokes. So Charles Manson, Lee Harvey Oswald, and James Earl Ray is where Chucky got his name, Charles Lee Ray.
I like that.
From those three murderers, killers, whatever you want to call them. And it was almost called Batteries Not Included, but there was already a Spielberg movie called Batteries Not Included.
Right. Yeah.
That sci-fi movie or whatever. Blood Buddy, which it sounds cheesy to me. You know, Child's Play is, I guess, kind of cheesy in a way too, but it does sound better than Blood Buddy. And Kevin Yeager, who he worked on the puppet Chucky, which they also used real people in some of the scenes as well. There was a midget that worked on it, and Alex Vincent's sister ran when he runs in the kitchen at the very beginning with the that's actually Alex Vincent's sister in the costume. But anyway, Kevin Yeager, who worked on the puppet, he also did Freddy, and he did the Crypt Keeper in that, and he also ended up marrying Catherine Hicks by meeting her filming this movie, and they're still married to this day.
Yeah.
My last little thing, though, they needed 11 puppeteers to puppet Chucky to bring him to life. So, like, one would be doing, like, the eyes, the other one would be doing the mouth, another one would be doing an arm, another arm, like, that's a lot of coordination, like, and I think they pulled it off really well.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
During, like, thinking back in, it's late 80s, I don't know, filming isn't really, it's getting much better, but you think like, well, now they do a mix of puppeteering and CGI.
Right. Yeah.
Chucky. They still do Chucky as puppet wise mostly.
Hated it.
I still hate this movie. I do. I had no liking for it, no interest in it, was bored. I give it a 1. I do. I mean, I appreciate that somebody had a good idea, and some people do like it. This is just not for me, but I still have respect enough to give it a 1 because it's like, okay, but every movie is a big thing. There's a lot of elements that go into it. Sorry, I give it a 1.
I'm gonna give it a 3.8, but that's because I love the franchise minus a movie or two in the middle here, but I love the franchise and I love how it started. And it was like, to me, I think my very first horror movie that I watched. So that's why I'm going to give it such a high number, because it introduced me to the world of horror and gore and stuff. So yeah, it's got to be, you know, a semi high number, even though there are some sketchy scenes. And I have found out that there are deleted scenes that kind of, some of them should have been put in, and some of them I'm really glad that got taken out.
We are going to cover The Visit. M. Night Shyamalan. He is a very precise creep. Like I'm not even gonna deny it, but very good movies. So
All right, guys, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave us a comment, and we'll see you next time.
bye.